Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most common complications in early pregnancy, which is miscarriage. Now, miscarriage is defined as the natural death of the fetus before the fetus is viable. Fetus means the baby when the baby is still in the womb. Now, miscarriage, another word for miscarriage or the medical term for miscarriage is spontaneous abortion. And miscarriage or spontaneous abortion is usually during the first 20 weeks of pregnancy. If it's after the 20-week mark, it's usually called a stillbirth. Now, miscarriage is no joke. It's a very, very traumatic experience, especially to the mother and to the family members. And in many cases, miscarriage happens even before the woman knows that she's pregnant. Now, just because you've had miscarriage before this, like your first pregnancy, you had miscarriage, doesn't mean the subsequent pregnancies are going to be the same. There's always a good chance that the following pregnancy will be a normal pregnancy, even despite having a miscarriage earlier on. There are many different types of miscarriage, and the reason we classify them into different categories is so that the approach to treatment is much more clearer. Different cases needs different form of treatment. So first of all, we have the threatened miscarriage. That means the patient is having all the symptoms of miscarriage. That means they have their bleeding, the vaginal bleeding, they have their lower back pain, they have the cramping, but then there is no loss of baby. So this is called threatened miscarriage. Second, we have the incomplete miscarriage when some of the tissue of the pregnancy is expelled but some still remains inside the body. Number three, we have complete miscarriage, meaning all the pregnancy tissue has been expelled from the body. Number four, we have missed miscarriage. That means there's no symptom of miscarriage at all, like the patient doesn't even realize that something is going on. But then inside the embryo or the fetus has already died, but the body hasn't expelled it yet. Now this is called missed miscarriage. And then we have recurrent miscarriage, which as the name suggests means one miscarriage after another, like every pregnancy is a miscarriage. Next, we have septic miscarriage. Septic miscarriage happens in the case of either missed miscarriage or incomplete miscarriage when the dead tissue of the fetus is still inside the womb and this tissue has now become infected. So what causes miscarriage? The main thing I want to emphasize here is never blame yourself, because these things are totally out of our control. And in most cases, regardless of what we changed or what we did right, there was no way of preventing. Nothing done right could have prevented a miscarriage from happening. If it has to happen, it has to happen. But we have identified some of the causes of why it could have happened. First of all, abnormal placental development. Placenta is a temporary organ which your body develops, which a woman's body develops to facilitate the exchange of blood, exchange of nutrients from the mother to the baby. Now, if the placenta is not developed properly, then the blood flow from the mother to the baby is interrupted, and this could cause the fetus to die. Next, we have chromosomal abnormality. And this is one of the major causes of miscarriage, because more than 50% of miscarriages are because of chromosomal abnormalities. Chromosomes are what makes up our DNA. It's those tiny things with legs and hands. I'll put a picture up. And these things, it's a very random event. Like nobody can predict what's going to happen, how they're going to combine. So there's no way of changing these or even predicting this would happen when it comes to chromosomes. Other reasons which may cause miscarriages are like weakened cervix, abnormally shaped womb, poor diet or malnutrition, food poisoning, certain medication, or uterine abnormality. On top of this, certain underlying conditions can also affect whether or not someone is going to have a miscarriage. Like it increases the risk of having a miscarriage if you have these diseases with you as well. For example, high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney disease, HIV, malaria, gonorrhea, syphilis, thyroid gland problem, and lupus. Although we can't predict who's going to have a miscarriage and who won't have miscarriage, we do have a list of risk factors. That means if you have these items in this list with you, the chances of this person having a miscarriage is much higher. So what are these risk factors? First of all, there's obesity. That means being overweight. Those who are obese have a higher chance of having a miscarriage compared to those who are not. Second is older maternal age. The risk of miscarriage increases with age. That means the older you are, the higher the chance of you having miscarriage. Third is previous miscarriage. If you had a miscarriage earlier, like I said, the next pregnancy, there is a chance that it'll be a normal pregnancy. But then the risk of having the next pregnancy as a miscarriage is also there. Fourth, we have illicit drug use. That means cocaine or I don't know what other drugs there are. If you are someone who are a drug abuser, then the chance of miscarriage is much higher. Fifth is alcohol abuse. Sixth is smoking. So all these habits have to go if you want a normal pregnancy. Seventh is being underweight. So if you're too fat or too thin, it does affect your pregnancy as well. Next is workplace hazard. That means if you're working in like a chemical factory and there are chemicals all around you, or if there's a radiation or toxic agent around you, this increases the chance of you having a miscarriage. And finally, there's caffeine. Caffeine has been associated with increased risk of miscarriage as well. So to prevent miscarriage itself, if you prevent the things in the list, the chances of you not having miscarriage is much higher. So just to recap the whole list, it's obesity, older maternal age, previous miscarriage, illicit drug use, alcohol abuse, smoking, underweight, workplace hazard, and also caffeine. So what are the symptoms of miscarriage? What should happen which should prompt you to start thinking that this might be miscarriage? First of all, there's the vaginal bleeding, like out of the blue, suddenly you just start bleeding. Next, we have the lower abdominal pain or lower abdominal cramps. Third, we have spotting. That means a lot of spots of blood in your undergarment. Fourth, we have pelvic pain. Fifth is lower back pain. Sixth is uterine contraction. Like it's the first 20 weeks of pregnancy and you suddenly feel your uterus start contracting. That's a sign that you should be worried about and start going to the hospital immediately. Next, we have vaginal discharge. This is not bleeding, but then some sort of mucousy, white, pinkish colored stuff coming out from your vagina. That is a sign of miscarriage as well. So if you're having any sort of weird discharge from your vagina, it's important that you seek medical advice as soon as possible. And finally, we have disappearance of signs of pregnancy, meaning when a woman gets pregnant, certain things happen. For example, they have morning sickness, the breasts start getting larger, becoming more tender. So these signs will start to disappear, like no more tender breasts or no more morning sickness. So this is a sign you have to be worried about as well. So what can we do to prevent miscarriage? Before I say this out, please understand that most miscarriages cannot be prevented. Like I mentioned earlier, if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. It's not your fault or anybody's fault. But then there are steps that you can take to ensure a much healthier pregnancy. For example, stop drinking alcohol, stop using drugs, stop smoking. Maintain a healthy weight before and after the pregnancy. Always have a healthy, well-balanced diet. Please keep up with your supplements, your vitamins, your prenatal vitamins you're supposed to take. Limit your coffee intake. If you really have to drink, then please stop at 1 cup a day or something. Never miss out on any appointments, like you have your follow-up, your checkup and everything. Some of us tend to miss it because we are busy with other work. No, you have to keep with your appointment. If you have to go on that day, take leave, take MC or something and just go to the clinic, get it checked out. And finally, we have regular exercise. Now, when you're pregnant, you don't need to do all those heavy lifting and this weird yoga pose and stuff. There are specific training programs for pregnant ladies by itself. Regardless of how light your workout routine is, how light your exercise routine is, just keep doing them every day. This is mainly to maintain the fetus's health. Now, most of the time, if someone goes through a miscarriage, the hospital itself, usually they will recommend places for counseling and everything. But then besides these places, there are also other places you can check out. I'll list down some of them below. Like I found this place called Focus and Family, Matchi.com and FMGC. These are all people who specialize in this. They know how to counsel someone who's grieving a miscarriage. They know how to handle the family members. They know how to guide you on how to think, like the whole package. So I'll leave the link down below. If you have a friend who's been through miscarriage and is always blue, or if in the future you need this reference, please do use them. I'm sure they are more than happy to help you. And that's everything about miscarriage. We've already covered what miscarriage is, the types of miscarriage there are, what are the symptoms of miscarriage, what are the risk factors of miscarriage, and what you can do to ensure a healthier pregnancy. If you found this video to be valuable, if you learned anything at all from this video, please do share this video with your friends and family members, spread the knowledge. If you're here for the first time and you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button right there, and please do click the bell icon because YouTube's algorithm is changing all the time and we want to make sure our videos come and reach you. And until the next informative video and anything you do, please do your best and be the best version of yourself. Bye-bye.